to the Artie Lange Show. We're having a bunch of fun tonight. On the phone right now is Comcast Sportsnet Chicago, WGN Radio. Lots of credits on this guy. A friend of the show, a frequent guest to talk some Chicago sports, particularly Bulls and the thumping they took tonight and their chances. Derrick Rose, maybe a little Cubbies. I don't know. Let's welcome the great Dave Kaplan. Dave, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Artie? How you doing, pal?
Good. Always good to have you here, man. So, what do you think? Give us your take after games 1 and 2. Big win in game 1 in Miami. They take what might have been an expected thumping in game 2. Your feeling as a Chicago guy going into the rest of the series?
Well, if you had told them at the start of the series you're going to come back Chicago 1-1, and here's how it's going to go down in the second game, you're going to get beaten like a drum. They would have taken it in a second.
Of course.
1-1 coming back from Miami when no one gave them a chance of even being in the series.
They would have taken. They would have taken a shutout. They would have said, if Miami shuts us out in game 2, that's fine.
Exactly. If you'd have told them, okay, you're going to win game 1 and Miami's going to beat you 140-0.
Yeah.
They would have said, where do we sign up? We'll take it.
Right.
Now the big question is some of the nonsense that went on in the game tonight with Taj Gibson and with Joakim Noah. Is that going to lead to any type of further disciplinary action? And are the Bulls coming home now knowing we can't beat this team? We riled them up. We poked the sleeping bear.
Yeah.
And we're in big trouble because there's no question that the Heat are a far, vastly superior team to the Chicago Bulls.
Who are they not a vastly superior team to? Maybe just superior, not vastly superior. Who left? Are they
Maybe
not
the Russian Olympic team in 1972?
I mean, are they vastly superior to the Knicks? I guess they are then, according to that.
Yeah, when you get to the playoffs, I do not think the Heat will be stopped en route to another title. I really don't. LeBron is otherworldly.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal player. They've got good pieces around him. You know, people will compete because they're human. I mean, John Ritchie can tell you not every game are you going to bring your A game, but still in all, I do not see anybody beating them 4 times in a 7-game series. I just don't see it happening.
John not only tells me that, he proves it to me every night, that you don't always bring your A game.
John he just runs you over.
John, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, could you give us a little more detail on Taj and Joakim? What's going on with that, and what could happen later in the series? I mean, what kind of disciplinary action could result?
Well, I mean, I can't believe the league would suspend them. You know, Taj with a profanity-filled rant. Who hasn't had a good profanity-filled rant?
Oh, I have them daily.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't believe that they're going to suspend anybody. There'll be some fines that will come out of this. And, you know, the Bulls are probably not going to get Derrick Rose back. And everybody has their opinion on that, but nobody that has that opinion is walking in his shoes. And Kirk Heinrich, Luol Deng, are they going to be able to play? I don't know, and I don't know how good they're going to be coming back. I mean, let's not forget, some people thought Luol had the flu. We find out he had a spinal tap, and they thought he had meningitis, and he was really, really not in good shape there for a few days. So I don't know if they physically can match up with the Heat, who are going to come in with their eyes wide open and look to resume command of this series on Friday night in Chicago. Bulls will play better. They're exceptionally well coached. I just don't know if they can hang with this team.
Well, listen, at this point, too, also your thoughts on this. Derrick Rose better show up for the next game in either a Bulls uniform or a dress. I mean, okay? Enough. Enough.
Well, I mean, I heard the story the other day that Jeff Van Gundy was telling that Pat Riley, coaching the Knicks, Van Gundy's his assistant, and he wouldn't name the player, but some big-name player on the team was sitting out. And he's in the locker room in a suit and tie. Pat comes in to address the team. He turns to face his team, and he looks, and he says, so-and-so, if I asked you to come on the court and give me 1 minute tonight, could you give me 1 minute? He said, Coach, I could muster up the strength to give you 1 minute. He said, then what the F are you doing in a suit? Get the blank out of my locker room.
Exactly.
Threw him out of the locker room.
Exactly. I mean, no, you need that kind of coaching. Absolutely.
The Bulls don't treat Derrick that way. They allow him to sit on the bench in a suit. They cover for him at every turn. I know for a fact the Bulls have asked him on multiple occasions, can we please announce you're out for the rest of the year so the sideshow stops with the media every day. I mean, we're not in somewhere in South Dakota. We're in the middle of Chicago with the most rabid fan base and media throng following them. Thibodeau's tired of answering the question every day. Anything change on Derek? Nope. He's still day-to-day. Nope. He's still day-to-day. So they've asked him, and Derek and his camp have refused.
You know what? It'll be a great job now that guy Rice from Rutgers is fired to be the personal coach for Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Just have.
Idea. Mike Rice takes an assistant job, and all he does is scream at Derek to get back on the court.
He just throws basketballs at his face. Derek, are you in tonight? No. Just whips a basketball at his face.
Yeah.
I mean,
idea.
The guy needs a job. So I think you hit it on the head here, Dave. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan. You're a Bulls guy, but let's get real. In the '90s, it was only a matter of time. You know, the late '80s going into the '90s, you had the feeling that it was only a matter of time before Michael Jordan rattled off a bunch in a row. In the 2000s, you got that feeling with Shaq, and maybe Akeem or Ewing or Tim Duncan would get a couple in there. But now it's
Kobe.
Kobe. Now it's just, at this period in time, this decade, it's a decade of LeBron. And not are they going to win a lot more, but are they going to do what he said in that stupid press conference that I hate? Are they going to rattle off not 6, not 7? It's just how many, not if, right?
I completely agree with you. I fully expect that they'll have their moments where they struggle with their shot or have their moments where they're human. But in the end, they will beat the Bulls in 5 or 6 games. If this thing goes 7, I'll be stunned. And that's not a shot at my Bulls. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Miami is just that deep, that talented, and the Bulls don't have their best player. Look, the Bulls don't have an all-star in Dame. MVP from 2 years ago who's 24 years old in Derrick Rose. They don't have their starting point guard right now in Kirk Heinrich. So let's take another team. Let's say the Spurs. And we took Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and pick any other third guy off the roster. Would they have gone in and won at Miami even once? No shot.
No.
Yeah, that's just what I wanted to comment on. I feel like when the Bulls beat the Heat this season, it's because they were physical and they just out-toughed them. They out-hustled them for loose balls. That's the way that they played and the way that they beat. That was the template, and now they can't imitate that because they just don't have the bodies to sacrifice to that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They don't have enough depth to be able to get that physical. They got some calls that went against them early. Miami came out riding a wave of emotion. They shot 60%.
Yeah.
So when you combine, it's a combination of making shots, you don't have the depth to try and neutralize them with physical play, and then some calls go their way, just adding up to a really, really rough night for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, when you shoot 36%. That
right,
makes it rough.
Exactly. I mean, this team, you knew they had to be running low on fumes. I mean, you go and play on Saturday against the Brooklyn Nets on the road. You win an emotional Game 7, and less than 48 hours later, you're battling the Miami Heat in Game 1 of the second round, and you win. Where are you going to summon the strength, the courage, the energy to get it done again against a decidedly superior team?
Switching gears to baseball, how long do you think it takes Theo Epstein to turn the Cubs into something of a contender? Because I think he's going to.
To be really honest with you, and I mean, that's my beat. I broadcast for them. It's I think it's my 20th season with this team. I do not see them contending seriously to win a World Series, and that's what it's all about, probably 2016, 2017.
Okay. Now, I don't know what Epstein's contract is for. How many years did he sign for?
He signed a 5-year deal for $17.5 million.
So you think, towards the end?
They had a bad year last year.
Right.
They're going to have a bad year this year, although they are markedly improved in certain areas like starting pitching. I think you will see a little bit of an upturn next year. 15, they should be better. And then 16, 17, they should be set up. If he drafts well, if it's second this year, they're going to have a top 5 or 6 pick next year. They've got 3 or 4 elite prospects in the minors already. You probably should see them set up for a fairly lengthy 5, 6, 7-year run of contending. And as Theo said, the only way to win a World Series is to contend and go to the playoffs year after year, like the Yankees, the Red Sox, like those teams do, the Braves did. And eventually, you're going to knock the door down and you're going to win one. That's the only way.
Yeah, I mean, so towards the end of the contract Epstein signed, you're hoping for them to be a solid contender, enough to maybe get him to re-sign and hopefully, I don't know, bring a World Series ring to Wrigley Field. My God.
The way they have, Artie and John, the way they have this all set up, they're going to get their renovation done at Wrigley.
Is that going to happen, though?
It'll get done. Over the next 4 to 5 off seasons, they will do it in pieces. They will get it all done. So by that point, they'll also have a new TV deal, which will pay them millions more dollars. So you have that synced up with the revenue coming in from the better stadium with signage and a jumbotron and all of that. Plus, you will have had 4 or 5 drafts of what you hope are a harvest of really good players, and they have a lot of money to go buy some premium free agents, whether that's on the international market or major league guys in the off season. You add that all up, and in a division that doesn't include the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays, you should be able to spend, I'm not going to say 2 to 1 dollars over the Cardinals or the Reds, but you should easily outspend anyone else in the division. And if you draft well and outspend, there's no excuse if you don't win.
Is there one aspect of Wrigley Field that you hope they just don't mess with in this renovation?
Yeah, the really hot girls in the halter tops right outside where we do our pregame.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. I don't think anything's going to mess with that. The Cub game, say what you want. I've been to several at Wrigley. It is a pea magnet, if I might say so.
It's phenomenal.
It is, but honestly, physically, as far as the exterior, interior, the ambiance of it, is there one aspect of it you hope they just don't mess with?